Hi, I'm the Tale Weaver Omar, and DM here at A Tale of D20's Network.
Hi, I'm Zektown, and I am the DM here at A Tale of D20's Network.
Zek, you know I am the Dungeon Master for the drama-fueled, anime-inspired fantasy epic Descent into the Void, right?
Yes, but Omar, you know I am the Dungeon Master for the comedy-riddled, trope-smashing fantasy epic The Natural Ones.
I guess both of them are perfect shows for a tabletop podcasting network.
It's a good thing that people can find us at ataleofd20s.com then.
Yeah, you can also find us on Twitter at A Tale of D20s. That's at ATALEOFD20S, A Tale of D20s.
And you can find each show on Twitter at The Nat Ones Cast, at THENAT1SCAST, The Nat Ones Cast, or Descent Void at DESCENTVOID, Descent Void on Twitter.
So, if you want thrilling drama,
or a side-splitting comedy, A Tale of D20s has you covered.
welcome back, everyone. So let's remove the bookmark and continue our story. So, Liberators, you have left off in the morning, heading east towards Thelos, the capital, along the road. While you're riding on your newly formed pieces of Chastaful turned into a unicorn, or turned to 5 unicorns, what do you do during this journey? It passes by. There are no demons around you, but you are not protected by the Heavens Dew, or unless you want to activate it. But so far, it doesn't seem that any demons or creatures around have paid any notice to you, like you have in your journeys in Shiverin.
I think I would have been holding that lantern, but I would not have had it activated. So if we sort of see that we might need it, I might spend a moment to activate it, but as of now, it's just off and by my side. I'm in pure bliss, so I'm not looking out for anything. I'm just following the trail. I'm just on the road following the trail.
I was about to say Horatio would probably be keeping an eye out.
Hey guys, shouldn't we activate the symphony? It's dangerous, you know.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to do so, although I don't really see, or do I see, anything around.
A roll perception check.
Yes, Duran would also be keeping an eye out to see if anything sus is going on in the forest, so the path around us.
Okay, you can also roll me a perception check.
I rolled a 15.
15 from Horatio.
And Duran rolls a 9. You know what? I'm going to use my second luck point to reroll that. That's pretty bad.
All right.
All right, I'm firing this die. Duran rolled a second 9. Obviously, the fates have chosen this roll for him.
All right, so a 9 and 15. So you guys look off into the distance. Duran, you see nothing. It looks pretty empty. Just trees and very ominous-looking trees. Remember, the trees here in Thelos aren't all bushy as you normally seen anywhere in the other plains. Here in Duskhaven, the trees are they're not bare, but they look very jagged and ominous in their appearance. But that's all you see for miles on end, and you continue going. Horatio, you look off into the distance, and you think you see like a dust cloud or something about a mile up or so, but you're not sure exactly what it is.
He would immediately say in brain chat, but individually to each person, as opposed to like a broadcast. I see what looks like a dust cloud ahead. I'm not sure what it is. Can any of you guys see?
Let's hold up and prepare then, and I'm going to try to slow up so that way we can activate the chalice.
If I see King slowing down, I would slow down too and cast Mage Armor on myself.
Whoa! And Minako will slow down as well, and she kind of does an arcane gesture, and for a moment, this sort of smoky, shadowy cloak appears around her before dissipating, and she will also cast Mage Armor.
Okay.
And then I'll join the party as well, and I will rub my hand across my circlet on my head, and flowers will bloom, and my mage armor will activate as well.
Okay, so the three of you simultaneously cast your mage armor in preparation to what Horatio has seen ahead, not too far. At your pace, you'll probably get there in a few minutes. But you do slow down, and all of you don on your magical armor, and it shines and shimmers, possessing itself upon you. Anything else you're doing?
I will also take a moment to hold up the chalice, or the lantern, and I'll offer a quick prayer of illumination and ask it to alight.
Okay, and speaking your words, you ask it to alight. Roll me a religion check. An 8.
I'll use my favored by the gods feat and add 2d4 to that, bringing that to a 12. At least now it's above a 10.
A 12, okay. You go ahead and you stretch out, and it's hard concentrating on it for some reason. You're not sure why. Maybe it's Chastful not being in its full form at the moment, or who knows, but you still stretch in. Then you go ahead and reach in with your favorite by the gods and use the power of Mylaki within. As you do, a pain strikes you again in your chest. At this point, it is heavy enough where you wince a little bit, and everybody with their basic passive perception can see King wince a little bit as he goes ahead and casts this. But nevertheless, moments afterwards, a arcane shielding of the symphony begins playing and surrounding you within a 30-foot radius.
King, are you okay?
I'm still a little winded from my excursion here, but I'm fine. Don't worry about me. And now our symphony is activated. We all should be safer. Are you sure?
I mean, it seems to weigh on you.
I think it's just the initial activation, but if it makes you feel better, I will not fight you.
Maybe I should activate it in the future as well, just as taking it from you.
Sure.
Oh, thank you, Monako.
Right? With you all worried about King, though assured that he's able to handle himself, you Monako take it and you continue moving on. Are you guys remaining upon the horses, going normal speed, going to try to stealth your way? What would you like to do?
What do you guys suggest? Should we...
Say we make full speed ahead.
There isn't much cover here on this road. Can you describe the surrounding? Is it like fields and stuff, or is there trees? Because if we're on the road, I wouldn't think so.
There are trees, but there is a path that you're on. You're on a road heading on the main road towards Thelos.
How far ahead can we see?
So you can see, if you have dark vision, all the way up to say 1,000 feet plus, or even further than that. You can see out into the distance if you really concentrate. Those who don't have dark vision, you cannot see more than probably a couple hundred feet ahead of you.
That's why I couldn't make out what it was.
I'll ride in front because I do have dark vision and can see a little bit further. And now that I have this new rifle, I would be able to get a jump from even further back.
I'd probably ride next to, a little bit behind Cal, just in case he needs firepower support.
Monaco's in the middle, right after Horatio in terms of the march order.
And then I'll go behind her, or next to her.
And then Duran will carry up the rear to keep an eye on King and to also protect their flank from any kind of surprise attack, especially since he has the new alert feature, which stops him from being surprised.
All right, so you all get into your formations, begin traveling down the road towards this cloud of dust that seems to be brought up a little bit. Everything else is pretty calm, but you can see like a little activity up there. Are you going stealthy or just normal?
When you say a cloud, do you mean like a physical like cloud, or is it like dust being kicked up?
Dust being kicked up, like not an actual like ominous.
Not like
cloud. Yeah,
okay.
like dust being picked up, and it's causing small little pockets of like small clouds.
It's like dust
as if
devils.
Yeah, like as if there's activity of something moving ahead, and they're kicking up dust.
Yeah, so I mean, Cal said full speed ahead, so I assume we're like galloping towards it.
Oh,
Going
okay.
full speed.
All right. So you guys are start galloping away on your horse, on your unicorns, and going. And within a few minutes, the vision starts to come into view. You see, surrounded by what seems to be an undead scourge, a small caravan of 2 donkeys, as well as several people looking scared and shivering back against the caravan, as you see the 2 tiny horse creatures backing back and forth and looking very scared. And I will share the map.
I would as soon as I can start seeing them ahead in the distance, I would start slowing down naturally on the bridle. Hey, I don't know if you guys can see it, but looks like there's some people that are maybe having some trouble up ahead.
They definitely look in trouble. There's no time for us to wait.
Well, let me scope it out. I can sense if they're actually in disguise of some sort.
Yeah, even at this distance, you all can clearly see there's like a massive amount of undead closing upon them.
Oh, we can actually see that there's undead coming.
Oh yeah, there are people in.
Oh, okay.
They're surrounded, and it's kind of like Michael Jackson Thriller, undead walking up on these people slowly.
Okay.
They're like
I
kind of
thought
cowering.
they were like by themselves, just looking scared and stuff.
Oh no!
I mean, these guys look like. Do they look like dancers? Or they look like they're about to get.
They're like
trouble?
normal people. You hear their screams as onto the background. Liberators, the zombies have not taken notice, but you see a horde of ogres and zombie ogres and zombie people with wailing banshees and undead creatures making their way toward this group as they cower in their caravan. What do you do?
There's no time for us to waste. Come on, everyone. And Minako will attempt to ride towards them.
Horatio, I would assume, is within range.
You've noticed all this at least 200 feet back, so how close do you guys want to go?
We're like 200 feet back. How close do you guys want to go? I mean, I could drop a fireball from here. I would say, King, you have ways to douse fire, correct?
Correct.
All right. So Horatio is going to launch a fireball. Thing is, I don't want to catch the caravan. I can try to maybe clear the front towards the caravan, and then have us move in towards the rest of them. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Dungeon Master, quick question about that caravan.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have horses as well? That
They have the two donkeys.
The two donkeys. Okay, they're still there though. Awesome.
Yeah.
God, fireball is huge. So I would probably aim it here because I don't want to hit the caravan, but I want to catch all of those to kind of clear that section there if I can. And I'm going to have them roll. One succeeded. So Horatio, as we're moving on the horse, he takes out his back guano and some sulfur and just claps his hands, and this giant ball of fire is in his hand, and he just kind of thrusts it forward and aims it. It looks like he missed by the direction that is going, but then once the explosion hits, you see all of those zombies ahead of us engulfed in the flames.
Okay. So you go ahead and take out and cast your fireball. It looms over, blasting onto the area where the zombies and banshees were. As it explodes, you hear coming from them as they begin engulfed in flames, catching on fire. Anything else? You all get a surprise round, and you all can. Well, first of all, everyone can. Yeah, you all get a surprise round, and then I need you all to roll me initiative.
So, as Horatio unleashes his fireball, Minako does an arcane gesture by drawing a symbol in the air with her wand, and a smoky trail comes out and sort of hops over to a point, and another fireball in a slightly further region appears. She will also cast fireball. This one at 5th level. Yes, her flames are particularly hot, and some of them she will reroll 3 of those damage dice, increasing its damage by 9 to everyone.
Okay.
As she has flames of Phlegethos, which are her fireballs burn hotter than usual, consuming, drawing power from her infernal blood in her veins.
Okay. So you go ahead and cast your fireball at the other section of zombies as they're also engulfed into flames, hearing the cries and then the ogres roaring as they are blasted with these flames, and it increases as the flames of Phlegethos come out from the ground, burning them more intensely. Okay. The rest of you still have your surprise round.
Everyone, stay close. I get my new rifle ready, and I hold it up, pushing us forward. With the power of Kalimvor, white light kind of radiates off of me, and for the next minute, everyone that lands a weapon attack gets an additional 1d4 of radiant damage.
Nice.
Holy power radiates from you in an aura with a 30-foot radius, awakening boldness in friendly creatures. Until that spell ends, the aura moves with you, centered on you. While in the aura, each non-hostile creature in the aura, including you, deals an extra 1d4 radiant damage when it hits with a weapon attack.
Oh, so any weapon attack. So, unfortunately, if you use a spell, it will not work. But if you have ranged weapons, it will add.
I can move a little closer.
Well, at this point, it would just be attack. So you just get your
Yeah.
surprise round, and so you don't get to move yet.
Yeah, no, so that was me like just preparing that for everybody to stay within 30 feet of me.
So I'll see the flames appear on both sides of the caravan, and the flames are now engulfing the area. And I'll hold my hand forth, and I will make a few gestures in the air. And at the far end of the path from beyond the zombies, a flower will start to sprout and grow out of the ground, and it will slowly engorge and engulf until it ruptures, creating a tidal wave that flows backwards towards us, hitting. It is 10 feet wide, and it is 30 feet long. If they fail, they are also knocked prone. And then as the water knocks some of them prone, it slowly dissipates, and a 30-foot radius out from this tidal wave extinguishes all of the flames in this general area, and then it slowly dissipates and fades away.
Okay. So the fires that were up burning the trees and the foliage around suddenly go out as King casts a tidal wave that knocks off 5 of the zombies, brushing against the water. You see everyone, all the caravan people are looking at confused and scared at the same time. They're just kind of screaming at every effect that's happened. There's the explosions, like, ah, tidal wave, ah, more zombies, ah. So, and Duran, you still have your surprise action.
Is it just one action?
Just one action.
Duran is going to pull back his bow out and pull out a single arrow. Just one so far, because he can't shoot multiple arrows at once. Unless I get to get the second attack of my attack action. And he's going to take a shot at zombie number 9 if it's still standing.
Zombie number 9 is indeed still standing. So go ahead and make your attack. And since you're using an action, you can take 2 attacks. So that's your attack action.
Duran rolled a 27.
27, that's a hit. Roll damage.
Awesome. So they haven't acted. It would activate my assassinate ability, hopefully.
Correct, yes, it would. 14 points of damage out onto the zombie when you strike it true into the chest with your arrow, your bow and arrow. Go ahead and make your next attack.
He pulls a second arrow out lightning fast and fires a second one at the same zombie. He rolls a 26.
26 hits, roll damage. Oh, actually, and roll 2d4s, because you get, what is the aura that Cal has? Gives you extra damage with your weapon attacks, I believe.
It gives you 1d4 of radiant damage.
So it will be
for each
2d4.
attack. Yeah, you get 2d4.
Awesome, and that also probably includes sneak attack damage.
That's so many d6s.
Right, so you go ahead and fire blast arrow at this zombie as it falls into the ground. Burning with the radiant energy, it falls to the ground and lands unmoving. So, now, I need you all to roll me initiative.
17.
18.
22 for King.
18 for Horatio.
Duran gets a 21.
Okay, let's finish rolling for everybody else. Alrighty, so, top of the round is King, followed by Duran, then the Banshees, then Horatio, Monaco, Cal, and then the zombies, and then following with the ogres. So, top of the round. King, you're up.
I look towards Duran as he pulls out his blade, and as he does, I hold my hand out, and I'll say, "In my name I imbue thee. With her grace, this sword will cut these undead." And I cast a holy weapon on your sword. When you attack, it will do an additional 2d8 radiant damage per hit.
So you go ahead and cast upon your enchantment onto his weapon, imbuing it with the power of radiant, and once again feel the sting in your chest.
Cut them for me. Cut them down and save these people. and then I will look at Banshee number 4 that is headed in my direction, and I will make a few hand gestures, and a ball of light will sort of appear in front of me, and then it is as if I created the chastiful sunbeam from my hand, and I'll unleash the attack and cast Sacred Flame towards this Banshee and say, "Dodge this, foul beast!" and roll with it. So it takes 3d8 radiant damage, and I will stay where I'm at.
Okay, so targeting one of the banshees that looks back and starts to come towards you. Flames fly up onto it, burning it as it wreathes in agony, and it looks at you, pinpointing you. Up next, Duran.
Awesome. How far is Banshee 4? I'm having issues pulling up the draw tool. How do I... the ruler tool?
If you select it, you should be able to tell you, like, you target it should tell you how far you are from it.
I'm 20 feet from it right now, so you're probably like 25 or 30.
Yeah, Duran shows me that Duran is 30 feet from.
All right. Duran is going to. He's gonna. Are we still on horseback, or have we gotten off our horses?
It's up to you. You haven't stayed. You gotten off your horses. I'm assuming that those of you attacked jumped off to attack.
I'm still sitting on my unicorn.
I thought like Duran drawing his bow and arrows like on the unicorn, that kind of thing. It seemed very elegant. If I try to ride, I'm going to try to ride up to Banshee number 4 and strike it with my blade. Did I use 30 of the unicorn's movement?
Stuff mounted combat.
Now I was about to say, mounted combat rules, I believe.
Guess I should have fucking expected that. No. Yeah.
If it's easier, we can just ditch the unicorn icons because it's sort of hard to move 2 tokens.
Yeah, because if we're using them as controlled mounts and they have the same initiative as us and they can't act independently, which is what I figure, but
yeah, they
might
can.
be less than that.
Yep. So you would use the movement so you get 90 feet of movement while you're on it.
Sweet.
Awesome.
That's
Duran's
awesome.
going to move up 30 feet to Banshee number 4.
Okay. Go ahead and set that.
And while riding, Duran's going to unfortunately have to drop his bow to pull out Firethorn. And he's going to use his bonus action as he approaches to ignite Firethorn. And then he's going to strike the Banshee.
Alright. Go ahead and target and roll your attack.
Does a 27 connect?
27 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. 37 points of damage with the combined ability of using King's Radiant Blade damage with the Radiant damage on top of Cal's with your Assassinate. You're able to slice into the body, the ethereal body of the Banshee as it wails in pain. Continue with your
Duran's
attack.
going to carry the momentum over here and use 10 more feet of movement to attack Banshee number 2.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Does a 23 connect?
23 hits. Roll damage. All right, so you go ahead unmounted, leaving the radius, so not getting the damage applied from Cow's aura, but you slash onto the second Banshee as the holy energy strikes it, and it screams in pain and horror as the wailing comes upon you.
Duran uses an action surge, and he's going to strike it again.
Okay.
Does a 24 connect?
24 hits. Roll damage. Okay, this Banshee's looking really hurt as you slashed it with all this radiant energy you've taken from King, and you assassinate, slashing it in the spots where it can't notice, and your holy blade of Firethorn with its fire energy and its regular damage and its radiant damage slashing upon this creature. It's looking pretty bad. It's this Banshee dead woman with clothes that are tattered and bruised, and is with messy wild hair, is looking pretty decrepit and weakened. Anything else you wish to do?
Duran brings one final strike that he has left down on the creature, looking at the desperate eyes of the people in the caravan looking to escape. Does a 14 connect?
Barely, but it does. So you go ahead and slash upon this Banshee with your 40 points of damage. It disintegrates from the holy energy dispersing, not returning after being killed by your blow.
Duran moves closer to the caravan, gesturing for them to follow where he's going. He uses 5 more feet of movement, and he spends the rest of his turn there, waiting for the caravan to pass by him safely.
The caravan, they look at you. They're dead scared, not moving, hiding within the burlap sack of their caravan coverings, not paying attention to you. Up next, all the Banshees. So the wailing Banshees are going to make their way towards the new foes, starting with Banshee number 1, who's going to fly 5, 10, 15, 20, right in front of Duran, and is going to open up her mouth and go directly in front of your face and just say, ah! And just wail. You hear this wailing sound coming onto you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Duran rolls a 14, and I'm going to use one of my inspiration points to add a D6?
Those were D8s.
I'm going to take it out on a date.
15.
It was a very frugal date.
So
Do I see that he's like in pain? Because if so, I will react like nobody's business, and I'll use my holy connection with him and expend 2 of my sorcery points as well as my reaction to add 1 more D4 to his save.
So 17. Good, okay. So at first it looks like Duran is being attacked by the whale, and using all of his might, he's still unable to. The connection between him and King, as you look over, your life being sapped out of you, Duran, you look and see, you lock eyes with King, and he mouths something you're not able to hear, and when he does so, you see him buckle over in pain, and King, you feel the pain once again, but you are able to just pass through the pain and strive through and not be damaged by this whale, but you do take 3d6 psychic damage.
When I see King in this kind of pain, I can't surrender.
Right, taking 6 points of psychic damage from this whale.
Ah, my brain!
Alright, and that Banshee will end his turn there. Up next, Banshee number 3 will ignore the caravan as new problem has, and it goes incorporeal and just walks through the trees. Yep, right behind Duran as well. And it also is going to attempt to wail at him. Roll me another Constitution saving throw. 18. You're able to stave that off as well, as these 2 banshees are screaming into your face, wailing. You feel your soul being ripped out of you, but you're holding on, taking another 12 points of psychic damage. And finally, Banshee number 4.
Oh, drat, I thought I got rid of that Banshee. Looks like she had a little bit left in her.
It's going, yeah, you're closer, Duran, so yeah, she's just gonna fly up right there and do the same thing again. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I rolled a 1. I'm going to use my last luck point to re-roll that.
Okay. 18. Ooh, so lucky. The whale not piercing you. Luck has been on your side, tipping in your favor, and you do not give in to the whales that would have brought you to 0 HP. And you take another 12 points of psychic damage. So Duran, you're just surrounded by these banshees that all came up to you, avenging their sister or other banshee that you had dispatched, and begin screaming at you, and you're barely able to stave on, blocking all of their wails. But they do look, if they can, sort of tired after casting this whale ability. But they still look at you with intent of destruction. Up next is Horatio.
Alright, so Horatio had something planned, but seeing that Duran is surrounded, he will move in this direction to kind of set himself up for later. And then he will attempt a Scorching Ray over at Banshee number 4. So he has 3 of those. We'll see if 1 is enough. 23.
23 hits, roll damage.
That is 6 points of damage.
Go ahead and fire your 6 points of damage. It seems like it doesn't take all of it as have, with the flames not striking and hurting the Banshee.
I noticed this, and I say, I'm not going to waste my other 2 on you. And then he can see the ogre zombie, so he will fire the last 2 at the ogre. Natural 20.
Natural 20 on ogre number 3. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Takes 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage as you strike with your Scorching Ray, blasting in the chest of the ogre as it looks back, his eyes shoot from the cornered caravan towards you. It starts to make its way over.
I will cast another one for 22.
Alright, 22 hits, roll damage.
And that is 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. You see it coming over there. You're a little frightened as its eyes locks eyes with you and moves over, so you quietly follow the other one, hitting it, brushing it against the arm, not doing as much damage as you've previously done.
Yeah, and then I will actually, knowing that I've gotten its attention, I will kind of head back a little bit just to put some distance between us. And actually, I'm sorry. I'm gonna come this way. Yeah, get as far as possible from that motherfucker. And that is my turn.
Right, up next is Monako.
Minako rides just behind Horatio as he does that kind of little loop. But instead of throwing another fireball, she unleashes a salvo of Eldritch Blasts, waving her wand back and forth and just letting out the smoky streams. Targeting Banshee number 4. 25.
25 hits, roll damage.
For a total of 15 damage.
15 points of damage. Slams onto the Banshee as she continues her wailing towards the ranch. She just is stopped and looks back towards you.
She kind of freezes for a second, but finishes a twirl, letting out another one at the same target. But is frightened by the glance it gives her, and just it goes completely wide before she unleashes her final one. 24.
That hits. Roll damage.
For 13 damage.
13 points of damage as you fire your volley of Eldritch Blast. The first one slams down onto the Banshee. The next one misses wildly, crashing into a tree next to it. The third one, though, strikes true, blasting it. You see its form begin to shimmer and shake. Anything else you wish to do?
She just repositions her horse, kind of following after Horatio, pulling back to her original position. But that is it.
Okay. So, up next, Cal. What do you wish to do in this army of undead coming towards you?
I want to sidestep vault over my unicorn and move 30 feet to my right. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brand new rifle of mine and sling it forward, putting it up to my shoulder. And I'm going to say, Kalimvor, light the way with this rifle. And I'm going to actually use its ability and cast Lightning Bolt.
Okay. You go ahead and hold the gun towards your chest, and as you do, and you hold it, and you concentrate on this ability that you feel within this weapon. A little reticule appears, like a little scope appears, flips up in front of your eyes that it startled you for a moment, but you then can see it zero in, connecting to all these, and all of a sudden, as you hold the trigger and think about the electricity, it goes ahead and begins to spin, and you all see it begin to glow, and you hear as a lightning bolt shrubs across and blasts these four, and all you see is, and all of you can feel the wind and the impact coming from this, as it is a intense blast. Yikes, that is a lot of damage.
Oh my gosh, this did 8d6 lightning damage.
All of them are 4s, 5s, and 6s. How nice is that?
Yeah.
Like, you only had 2 4s.
First blood with a new weapon is the best feeling.
First blood, more like first, second, third.
Running riot.
As they're all zombies, and this particularly is not radiant damage, like lightning damage, they will get to roll to see if they come back. So let's see.
Oh, but they also take 1d4 each of radiant damage.
Because of your aura affects yourself as well. Okay, so zombie number 10 falls to the ground and is lit up with electricity as well as holy energy, as the holy energy burns away his corpse, and it falls back into the ground once it crawled from. Zombie number 4, same thing as well, and that's the only 2 who died.
So I have a question: is this a one-shot rifle? Is there a cartridge? Are we going to be doing reloading with it?
Well, since you did not, there was no bullets inside of it, so therefore it is empty. So all you did was use your action to shoot this blast from it. So if you want to, you can go ahead and reload it like you normally would a gun. And rifles have, and I'll tell you how much bullets they can hold. Okay, this rifle has 1 bullet. You have 1 chamber where you can lock it in there, snap it, and take 1 shot. And you'll have to reload it every time.
I'll put a regular bullet in this gun and fire it for the first time.
So your first attack action was using the lightning bolt. Your second attack action, go ahead and make that attack.
I'm going to just shoot Banshee number 4.
Okay.
And I'm like, I like put down the rifle a little bit to watch the lightning do its thing, but then I'm gonna pick it right back up after sliding another bullet in and shoot one more time with an 18. I believe
That
it
hits. Yep.
Awesome.
Damn it.
If
So
that-
you go ahead and fire a blast of radiant energy from your aura onto the banshee, and you just hear it go, "Ah!" and it just disintegrates up into nothingness.
Awesome. So then I'm going to kind of swing it back and get ready. I'll just have my hands ready to grab my revolvers for the next round.
Okay, so you all witness and see Cal shoot this electric blast over before reloading his gun, firing and blasting away at the banshee. Up next are the zombies. Zombie number 1. So we'll just move closer towards the caravan or the rest of your group. Up next, actually, it was going to move towards the caravan. All right, so zombie number 2 then. Move over and it's going to attack this lady here. She just it goes into the caravan, ripping it apart. And until it sees, she's like, ah! And all you hear is just attack and munching coming inside, and you see a whole bunch of screams of people inside of the caravan as the zombie makes its attack against it. Zombie number 3 is going to make its way towards the caravan, hidden into the trees. It walks underneath it. Oh wait, it has 20. What am I doing? No, it gets past the trees. Okay. Zombie number 5 to make them 10, 15, 20. It's about here. Zombie number 6 takes his turn. 5, 10, 15, 20. So it gets up to it. To this next person who's in the caravan and also will make his attack and bite and attack this superior. You hear more screams happening. Zombie number 7. All right, so all the zombies are going. So all the zombies have moved closer and closer. A couple of them, one of them, two of them, making their way to the caravan, taking bites out of the people within. Up next is going to be Ogre Zombie number 1, who is prone. So we'll use half his movement, so it has 15 feet of movement left. Since there's so much people there, it's not going to go this way, but go through towards you all. 5, 10, 15, because it's a huge creature. So it kind of breaks its way throughout the trees, busting out, stepping forward. It's not close enough to attack anyone, but it is definitely heading towards you, Duran, at least. Zombie number 2, the Ogre Zombie number 2 will just use his full movement to make its way over to you, breaking its way throughout the tree line and makes it over there. And Ogre Zombie number 3 will walk up towards Duran, pushing past, going in between the caravan and the zombies, the caravan and the banshees, and attacking Duran. It will make its attack against Duran. You see it pulls out of its flesh that is falling apart. In it, like a piece of bone, and this bone is large and mace-like, and it slams it down onto Duran. Duran, you. All right, that's an 18 versus your AC.
That would be a miss, Dungeon Master.
Okay, so it takes a swing, and you nimbly duck out the way on top of your steed. I believe it only gets one attack. Yes, only one attack. All right, and it'll end its turn. Ogre Zombie number 4 will walk up and take a bite out of the next donkey as it reels in pain. All right, so the zombies have all gone. Top of the round, King.
Oh man, I'm going to... Duran is still on top of Unicorn Chastifol, so I am going to channel the energy of Chastifol, the healing staff, and activate the Cure Wounds aspect using 4 charges. The horn of the unicorn he's riding on starts to glow and emit this soft light, and I will cast Cure Wounds.
Oh wait, 1 second. So you're using your staff ability?
Yes, trying to.
Yeah, you realize as you reach forward that with Chastifol shuttered into these pieces, all the effects that it can do are unreachable. You'll have to reform it, which you reaching forward towards Chastifol, you can see how you can bring it together using an action, but then all the unicorns will poop away.
Got it. Okay. So instead, seeing that is the case, I will continue forward with that thought, and I will use Cure Wounds and use my meta magic to cast it at a distance. So instead of it being a touch, it has 30 feet, and a soft glowing hand will appear on his shoulder, and I'll cast it anyway at a 3rd level directly on him using 3 meta magic points, or maybe 1. I have to check. Healing him for 27 points.
Duran, you are strucken with the power of King once again, his familiar energy, though it feels more powerful, more radiant, coming from him, and you are healed for 27 points of damage. King, more of that pain within your chest.
Pushing through the pain, after seeing him recover, I'll quickly make a sharp hand motion. And as I do so, I'll cut light into the air, and I'll summon forth a spiritual weapon, and it will be in the shape of the unicorn spear. And I'll cast it at 4th level, and oh no, I can't cast 2 spells.
Oh yes, very true.
Sucks. Okay, so I will instead make a similar hand motion as I did last time, and conjure forth a ball of light energy in my palm and release it towards Ogre Zombie 3 and do a Sacred Flame attack as a hand.
Okay, pushing past the pain, you go ahead and cast your Sacred Flame. Go ahead and apply your effect, targeting the Ogre.
He failed, so he will take 13 points of radiant damage.
13 points of radiant damage as it burns up the legs of the ogre and writhes in pain, swinging his arm back and forth.
I will ride on my chapterful steed over to the right to sort of get a better view of what's going on.
As it moves on over, you fly past Cal, getting to the corner. Up next, Duran, surrounded and being wailed at by all the zombies and undead. What do you do?
Duran is still kind of in awe of that huge giant blast of energy that came from Cal's guns. He's gonna brain message Cal very quickly as he goes into a combat stance. Cal, can you do that again?
Unfortunately, I think it's just once per day. I need to pray to Kalumbor again to charge it.
Darn, then I have no choice. Dungeon Master, question. This unicorn underneath me, it's like, what's up with dismount? It takes half your movement to dismount?
Yeah.
Rough. Alright, well, Duran would rather dismount than risk this extension of King's staff from coming under harm. He's gonna dismount off of the unicorn, and then from where he is, he's gonna use his last 15 feet of movement to activate his vagary. Focus. Now, move like Kaijin, and he's gonna use his bonus action to move 30 feet diagonally into the air over these zombies, maybe over the caravan.
Okay, they will get opportunity attacks against you.
No problem. I will also use evasive footwork. I can use one of my combat superiority die to roll a d8 and add that to my AC while I'm moving.
Okay, go ahead and roll that d8.
I rolled a humble 2.
Okay, so what's your final AC?
That puts Duran's final AC up to 21.
21, okay, so they will make attacks, starting with the Banshees. Banshee 3 and 1. So with the first attack, and they get an advantage, so they're technically flanking you. Alright, that's a 20, which misses now that you are using the winds to block their attacks. You dodge up. The next one will also try to attack. Once again, missing you. Both of them striking. They go to reach and they miss. But the ogre zombie is a little closer and goes to strike you as well. Let's see if he is able to hit, but he is not at advantage. No, he does not. With a 9, he misses. So they all take swings at you, and you nimbly dodge out the way, getting past them. Go ahead and
Duran
continue your turn.
Starts flying up, and he if he can, pushes off of their swings as he flies between their attacks, getting up over the caravan.
All right.
And from his max height, I'd say even a little bit over.
So how much movement did you have in total?
So he's going to use the 30 feet of movement he has left. Sorry, 35 feet of movement he has left, using his bonus action to perform a dash action to position himself maybe somewhere in the air, or not directly on top of the caravan, maybe over here if possible.
All right. So getting high enough into the air. How high are you in the air? 30 feet in the air?
So I'd say he's about, to move that far, maybe just about. Are there any trees nearby?
Oh, there are tons of trees nearby. You can see them all on the map.
He flies up into the tree near this ogre zombie, and from there, he's going to use his vagary with his attack action.
So how many actions so far? You've used your half your movement and then your dash action as a bonus action. And that's
I used all my movement. I used half my movement to dismount, half of my movement to activate my vagary, my full dash action to move up to the tree, and I have one attack action left.
Okay.
Well, one action to use an attack.
Okay. So you make your way over to a tree floating up into the sky. You can go ahead and use your action as the ogre is 30 feet below you.
Duran is going to fire down using his vagary. He's going to use his soul burst to strike at zombie number 6.
All right. Roll that attack. As you see it munching away at somebody inside, and blood on its mouth.
Does a 24 connect?
That hits. Roll damage.
And he's going to use 2d. Wait, that's not. No one's with range, but that doesn't trigger a sneak attack. But I will expend one combat superiority die to add 1d6 to it and make him make a DC 16 strength save or get knocked prone.
Okay. I'll go ahead and roll the save. And this is number 6.
Yes, Dungeon Master.
Okay. That is a 15.
Hit the deck!
Is that a pass or fail?
That is a fail. It's DC 17.
Okay. So you go ahead and strike at him, and the winds push against his feet and he falls onto the ground, dropping what he held on, but you see falling out of the caravan is a woman, like, ah! She falls down with him, and the zombie goes onto the ground.
Duran winces at the horrific sight as he kind of still moving with the momentum from his swing, spins around and swings down with a second soul burst on zombie number 10 to knock it prone as well, hopefully.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack as you use your second soul burst, reaching to the limits of overbursting. You go ahead and strike down.
Does a 22 connect?
22 hits, roll damage. 20 points of damage, ouch, as you go ahead and strike against zombie number 2, expending another combat superior dice.
Yes, sir, to try to knock this one down as well. And it takes 8 additional damage and needs to make a DC 17 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
21.
It makes the save.
Natural 20. Alright, so this zombie unfortunately isn't knocked over. Still clawing at whatever is inside of the caravan. You can't quite see the people who are in there, but you hear their screams. And then as the flaps move up and down from the wind, you can make a glimpse of them inside as they're in terror. Anything else you wish to do this turn?
That is it for Duran. He's just up in a tree or up flying near a tree.
Okay. So 30 feet up and flying near this tree, you survey the battlefield and make your attacks. Up next, Banshee number 1. Okay. Banshee number 1 will see how far people are. See Cal, since Duran, you're no longer within her immediate reach, and fly on over to him. She will then go ahead and target him and make her necrotic corrupt touch strike against him.
No, Cal.
Oh, sorry. One thing that that happens is that they all the banshees simultaneously, after being struck, turn into a more horrific form, a scary looking form with their hair just sticking out as they got struck by electricity, and staring at all of you. Everyone within 60 feet of her, which is all of you, have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wait, am I still within 60 feet of her?
Yes, you are. All right, so
This is not good.
Cal, you rolled an 8 plus 4 because your aura gives you.
Yeah, aura protection plus 4, so that's a 12.
Okay, 12. And Monaco with a 24. King with an.
I'm gonna use a lucky point and roll that again. I'm gonna keep my 11.
Okay.
Duran will use his Arabu bonus to try add a date to his 15.
Oh yeah, can I use my Sapphire Scrub D6?
Sure.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. 15 then.
Duran's new total is a 23.
All right, so we'll start over again. Cal with a 12, Monaco with a 20, King with a 15, Horatio with a 25, Duran with a 24?
23.
23. Okay, so everyone who lower than a 15, which would just be Cal, you are frightened of all of the banshees as they all released it at the same time. So let me apply that onto you. Therefore, you cannot move any closer to it, and you also are at disadvantage on all your ability checks and attack rolls while it's within sight.
But Cal is fearless.
Okay, but Then the banshee moves down with its scary visage, walking towards you, howling. It makes its necrotic strike. 15 versus your AC misses. So it makes it swing, and you cower before it and duck out the way before it slashes with its claws at you. The next banshee, number 3, is going to follow in its footsteps. But this time, can it fit? Yes, it can. We'll go right behind you to take the most advantageous position. And also attack against you at advantage. Alright, 21 versus your AC. Which hits?
Hits, yeah.
Alright, so go ahead and attack, doing 11 points of necrotic damage as it slashes onto you. You're surrounded by these 2 banshees.
Care of you next.
Rolling a concentration on your aura, you're able to hold it with 13.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Horatio, you're up.
Horatio is kind of worried about these 3 ogre zombies that are really close to the caravan. So he's going to use the unicorn's movement to get right here. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to go right here.
And do you have enough move jack? So far that was 35 movement.
The unicorn I thought had 90.
Oh, you're on a unicorn. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot you were still riding it. Okay.
And then I'm going to, knowing that these undead abominations take additional damage, he takes out his material components and he begins casting some arcane words, and his hand starts to shine really, really bright. As he pushes it forward, a sunbeam comes out in 60 feet, targeting these 3 and making sure not to hit Duran, hoping to chunk these zombies using my 6th level slot. One of them succeeds, which is zombie number 3. So I'm gonna do he takes half. I'm gonna do the damage now. Okay, so they take 35 points of damage, half if they succeeded, and then I'm gonna untarget zombie number 3, and I'm gonna cast the blinded effect on the other 2 as they are blinded.
Right. As well as, I believe you get sunlight shimmering around either you or the focus, I don't remember.
Shines from your hand, 30-foot radius.
So there's 60 feet of sunlight, brighter, it getting dimmer as the distance increases, but there's 60 feet of sunlight around you. So you go ahead and fire past your sunbeam. It shoots down, it heats up around your hand, and you see this radiant, glowing magic coming from your hand. And firing off this blast, it fires off a beam hitting all the ogre zombies and just releasing from your hands a blast of radiant light, changing the landscape where, it's dusk cave and it's dusk. It actually looks like there is a sun, and at the center of this sun is Horatio. You see all the zombies put up their hands and they start to burn and sizzle, all being encompassed within that sunlight. Manako, what do you do next?
Manako, it does witness Horatio casting the spell, and as the bright light comes out, she kind of shields her eye a little bit, having not seen something as bright as this sunlight coming out before. However, she's not blinded and is perfectly capable of doing what she does now, which is she's taking her wand. She does an arcane gesture with her left hand and then taps it to the smoky ball, smoldering ball of smoke that comes out of her palm, and then she flings it and lobbing it almost over the caravan towards the other side with this big group of zombies, casting fireball again.
Right, cast your fireball.
And once again, she rolls a couple of ones. She will re-roll those using her Flames of Phlegethos, those. Although some of them come back as ones. She only does 2 more damage, which is a total of 28 to most of those zombies.
Okay, so you go ahead and release your fireball, exploding in the back. After you hear the cries of fear coming from the caravan, most of the zombies are engulfed in these flames, and you just hear as they ride back and forth. Let's see. And you take down zombie number 6.
And then she will bravely begin to ride towards, trying to go almost around, just towards the caravan, shouting as she does, "Be brave, help is on the way! If you can flee, come this way!"
You see the one zombie that you had killed with that rise from the ashes and begin to rise up again, though most of his body is charred and falling apart and still continue to slink over.
They come back! Quickly, everyone, get out of there!
You do see that entire area because of the shrubbery and brush. It was still smoldering a little bit after being put out by King's water, but now that you reignited it, all the trees and everything are just engulfed in flames. So we'll leave your circle there to show that that's all on fire.
And that's it for her.
All right. Up next, Cal.
All right, the first thing that I am going to do is activate my vagary, dancing around and pulling out my revolvers, moving them rhythmically as I take my steps, and use a soul burst to discharge 30 feet away. The lightning from the rifle shot is still kind of crackling around me a little bit, and my eyes are still lit up as I turn, like, you basically see like a lightning bolt and a thunder crack sound as I bolt off 30 feet away.
Right, so you bolt off 30 away, running past them. You're doing too quick for them to strike you with any opportunity attacks. Zipping past, you land on the 30 feet away from these frightening banshees.
And I'm going to take one of my magic revolvers now and start firing away at Banshee, or actually I'm going to start firing at Ogre Zombie 2.
All right, go ahead and make an attack.
It'll be at disadvantage, correct? I'm still frightened, technically?
Yes, indeed. Okay. Due to even though you're frightened, this blinded ogre just moving around, not able to see and dodge out the way, counteracting the frightened effect from the Banshee, and you just shoot, and it actually walks in front of your bullet, getting shot and hit. Go ahead and roll damage with your 11.
It'll be 15 radiant damage. No, 4 of it is radiant. Doing 15 damage, yeah.
Okay, 15 points of damage as you fire your pistol, shooting it across. It strikes true.
And I will charge up a Divine Smite as long as this next magical pistol shot lands, using my second attack. Yes, with a 13 it hits.
13 hits.
And the shot charges off with a blinding white light as the Divine Smite damage also lands.
Right, doing 12 points of additional damage. Ouch. As you fire out this blinded zombie ogre, even though you're scared, nonetheless you steel yourself shooting these blasts, damaging the ogre as it starts to buckle over in pain. What else would you like to do?
That'll be everything. The Divine Smite was a bonus. I've taken my 2 attacks and I've moved.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep dancing my war dance steps and pass the turn.
Up next, zombie number 1. So zombie number 1 is too far from Duran, going to step through the flames, taking some additional damage.
Do I have to make a save?
Oh yes, at the end of the turn you make another wisdom saving throw, yes. At the end of your turn, make a wisdom saving throw.
15.
15. That's exactly the number you needed. You are no longer afraid of these banshees.
And Duran is within my 30-foot range.
So actually it was a 19 because you have your thing.
Oh, correct. It wasn't.
Alright, so the zombie is going to take a couple more points of damage. Let's see. And walk on up towards more of these people because you guys are way too far. Moving its 15 feet, it will chomp at and the flames are right up against it. You barely missed Monaco, your fireball hitting this, so they're kind of like still within the flames, taking some damage, but then chomping at the people who are inside, and you hear them screaming. So a third person has been bit and chomped.
From what Duran can see, are they prioritizing like people who, like there's one person got pulled out on the ground? Are they prioritizing people who have been untouched, or are they just chomping whatever they can get their hands on?
Looks like with your passive perception, looks like they're chomping on people who have not been touched.
Yeah, it's bad.
So zombie number 2. So these 3, so it can no longer really reach in after the other ones as it's trying to claw, so it's going to try to make its way around to the other side of the caravan. 5, 10, 15. Oh, it just needs to get right here. Pulling out, and it will also use this action. You hear as another person is chomped. Zombie number 3 is going to 5, 10, 15. Can't make it to anyone to the other side, but goes within the trees. zombie number 5 will also try to make it to the other side. It can't really quite get over this little bit large caravan. Can't have the strength to pull itself up. So we'll walk across 5, 10, 15, 20. Zombie number 6 is dead. That. Zombie number 7, 10. We'll just start walking towards the rest of the group. And zombie number 8 out. And zombie number 8 will just walk up, use his movement to. It gets towards Duran and it's trying to reach him, but it can't. All right. So, and as those zombies go, you start to see the people that they pull from the ground stand up and become extra zombies. So since they bit 3 people the last round, oh no, they only bit 2 people the last round. Those 2 people will now get up as zombies, start to crawl their way out. Actually, 1 is still inside, so it's actually going to go and attack the other people inside. But there's a tussle happening. It looks like there's some action. We don't know if or if not someone has been attacked, but you do hear people going crazy in there. Some people are actually starting to jump out of the caravan onto the other side. But then they turn and see that there's a zombie there and they continue to scream. You just see a whole mayhem of craziness happening. So, Ogre Zombie number 1 is going to go ahead and, let's see.
Wait, which was number 1? He's blind.
He's within, yeah, he is blinded. So, let's see. He does not, he will just stumble towards the direction that he feels he was being attacked and try to just run forward. Getting close enough to the rest of the group, but moving his hands around. He does not know where anything is, and he will not take an attack as he is blinded. Ogre Zombie number 2 is also blinded, and will swing wildly around, moving in this direction. So the zombies so the Ogre Zombies, the blind ones, begin walking towards where the group was, but you all dispersed, and it's not heading any closer towards you all. But the one Ogre Zombie number 3 can clearly see, and will... Duran, you're hidden well within the trees, so it can't see you. So the next person it can see is Cal, and it will use his full movement to get over there. 10, 15, yeah, but it can reach. We'll get right behind this right within this tree, and take a swing at you, Cal. 22 versus your AC.
Hits.
Okay, pulling out another fleshy, meaty bone. It slams down onto your head, doing 14 points of bludgeoning damage. You're still able, with your 21 concentration, able to hold on to your aura. But it only gets 1 attack and ends his turn. Number 4 finish chomping down onto the donkeys and will continue to move its way towards the unsuspecting caravan members who ran out. And he has more than enough movement to do so. And will take a swing attack at one of them and begins chomping down. So more screams are heard. All these people who were in here, unfortunately, are being ambushed and being eaten and turned by these zombies.
Everyone? I thought there was one person.
Not everyone, as in it looks like everyone is starting to be attacked. There's still a couple who are left, and a couple people who are still inside the caravan who are like now starting to come out.
Oh, there's people underside that were under the donkey tokens I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still like 3 that have not been bitten, right?
Yeah, I'll put them over here. These 3 have not. Well, 4. So these 3 and the one that's outside. This one.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. Okay.
Top of the round, King. You're up.
All right. I am going to hold my hand up and say, "Return to me," and will Chastafol to recombine.
Right, so you use an action to call Chastafol. Everyone who's on a horse, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. As poof, the horses are all turned back into their pearl shard form and form together, landing next to you, King, in full fashion, humming and glowing with radiant energy. All right, so we have you both land gracefully onto the ground without falling prone.
Sorry.
Miss me with that boost. No, that's fine.
Now that I have it in front of me.
But it was an action to piece it together.
Yeah. Oh, man. I really want to try and save those people, but I don't think I can. I will get on it and mount it, and now that I have movement speed, I'll fly up into the air at a diagonal, sort of above the caravan, so that way I'm here, but 30 feet in the air, so that way I can swoop down next turn, potentially. That's the plan. But as I do so, as I fly up and around, I'm going to, or as part of the mounting it, I'm going to make a flourish, and as I do, I'm going to cut the air with Chastifold and make a spear of light form and cast, as a bonus action, a spiritual weapon at a 4th level and make an incorporeal version of it appear here in front of ogre number 1 and crash it into it as I fly into the sky.
You go ahead and summon the exact replica of, but a incorporeal version of it, Chastafold, and this unicorn blade at the front starts to drill and form, and you have it in front of you, and it goes overhead to attack the selected ogre.
26.
26 hits. It moves around blindly, not able to see anything, and you strike it true.
For 11 points of force.
Smack down with 11 points of force damage as it just goes, and it swings at Chastafold, not able to see it. Even if it does hit, it passes right through the spectral weapon.
Okay. Movement, bonus, action, done.
Okay, up next is Duran.
All right, so he's just gonna kind of gently fall back to the ground and land next to zombie number 8, and he's going to unleash his blades on zombie number 8 the moment he touches the ground.
All right, so moving down onto the ground. So are you turning off your vagary, you said?
He's not gonna renew his subscription to Vagary monthly. So he's not going to expend the additional 15 movement to keep his vagary up. He's just going to fall and then hit this dude when he gets down.
Okay, when you fall, of course, you fall gracefully, not worrying about any type of damage landing onto the ground. You end your vagary. Go ahead and make your attack.
Does a 21 connect?
21 does. Roll damage. All right, 23 points of damage. As you strike down onto the zombie, the radiant energy from King's spell charges and blasts the zombie, turning into dust as once again it returns to the ground.
Then Duran is going to kind of roll with the swing and kind of does like a dive roll with it, and he's going to use 5 feet of movement, and then he's going to use the second part of his attack on zombie number 7. Actually, no, he's going to use that damage on zombie number 2.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
All right, does an 11 hit?
11 does hit. Roll damage. Right, striking again with 33 points of damage, most of that being radiant to strike down, blasting the zombie into dust. Zombie number 2 is no more.
What kind of action would it be to open up the flap to this?
It's a free action.
Open this caravan. Duran opens it up, and he shows a clear path for them, and he says, "Run, damn you, run!"
As you open up, you see there's on the other side, with him running back and turning towards you, one of the people. So it's not as bloodied and decrepit as the other zombies you fought, but still fresh. One of the zombie number 12, going, turning around and going towards you.
How close is he? Because I have one more bonus action full of attack for anyone trying to mess with Duran right now.
Not in reach where you can swing, but you can totally jump in there and use
Yeah, I'll use 20 feet of movement I have left to get in there and do some action.
Okay. You jump into the caravan. You see the 3 people cowering behind. Help us! As this new zombie number 12 has taken shape. So you go ahead and target and make your attack.
Duran kind of recoils in horror at the fresh zombie, but his defensive instincts kick in and he strikes at it.
Alright, so with your natural one, you take a swing at the zombie. It's too cramped in here, and you end up cutting up the burlap, exposing it to the elements outside. And then the zombie goes and tries to make a lunge at you. It doesn't attack, but you see it starting to shift its focus from the 3 to you and go to attack you.
Duran is aghast at this horrific scene.
Alright, anything else you wish to do?
Duran simply angles Firethorn to protect himself and hold the zombie off of him. In a moment, he's caught being defensive instead of normally aggressive in attack formation like he normally would be.
Right. Up next, all the banshees. Who is nearby? Cow, you're the closest. The banshees will fly up behind you, starting with banshee number 1, who will go up to give itself advantage behind the ogre zombie, and you'll make its attack against you. It's a necrotic strike. But a poor 10, which misses. The next one will do the same, hopping into the same spot as its ally, also getting an attack at advantage. 22.
That hits.
Alright, and it strikes you with +2, 10 points of necrotic damage.
Burns a little.
Before stepping over to the side. Okay, they will end their turns. Up next is Horatio.
I'm going to bring my the sunbeam over, and I'm going to target ogre zombie number 4. zombie number 3 and zombie number 5 with my sunbeam.
Okay, roll that effect.
2 succeed, and the 2 zombies succeed. The ogre zombie fails, so I will roll the damage for that. So 33 damage to the ogre zombie, and the regular zombies take half of that, and use another 15 feet of movement to book it back this way. So at that moment, you see Horatio run up, still with the light shining in his hand. He unleashes another sunbeam forward, and then quickly runs back.
Okay, so releasing a sunbeam, taking the sunbeam, pulling it back, and then firing it again. More light shining out of your hands. You hear boom as a thick with sun, a beam of sun strikes in a line, hitting all of the zombies, burning their skin. Though some manage to just hop out the way, only taking minor damage. Up next, Minako.
So Minako looks behind her and sees Horatio run past, and as he does that, she begins to dance. Taking a couple of steps in this specific pattern, leaning into her heart, and then opening her hand up. And as she does so, she shouts, "Stone Dance Vagary, Diamonds Ballet!" and unleashes a set of Diamonds Crush on the area, getting the Ogre Zombie 4, and hopefully 3 and 5, if that's possible. And so as she shouts it out, some crystals form around the feet of the now undead things in front of her, and shoot up through their feet. And then as she finishes her movement, so after she finishes the dance and allows the diamonds to kind of come out and trap them, she waves her wand left and the right and grabs another one of those balls of flame, but this time it disappears, and then just a bonfire erupts underneath the ogre zombie.
Well, since it is restrained, it would automatically... Is that a dexterity saving throw?
It would have a dexterity saving throw.
It automatically fails, so you don't have to roll against the ogre zombie number 4.
There we go. Dealing 16 points of fire damage.
Okay, so as you go ahead and enact your Diamonds Ballet, the rocks are erupted from the ground, trapping the zombies together, and as they try to move and they straggle, their skin starts to peel away, and in that motion, unable to move, you strike them with your bonfire, burning the large ogre zombie.
Afterwards, she continues her dance steps just a couple feet away, and then pauses for one moment to yell at the people to run, and that's it.
All right, Cal, you're up next.
I'm going to continue using my Vagary and use a Soul Burst to discharge again and move and flash 20 feet away from these Banshees and this Ogre Zombie that are surrounding me.
Okay. Flashing next to the fire that's kindling over after the fireball, you blast back with your thunder and lightning away from the enemies that surrounded you.
And I'm going to spin around as I rematerialize, I guess, or what it appears to be rematerializing, and fire off some rounds with my magic revolver at the Ogre Zombie number 3. I rolled an 11. Does that
11
hit?
hits.
Awesome.
Roll damage.
I'm going to use Divine Smite as well, and I believe with it being an undead, it should get an additional D8.
No need, because you Divine Smited the Ogre Zombie. Explodes into
Excellent.
dust and flesh before fizzling back into the ground, returning to from whence it came.
Awesome. Then I'm going to spin around towards the caravan, and with my second shot, I'm going to fire a blast at zombie number 7.
All right, roll that attack. Everyone's looking really rough.
I rolled a 23.
That hits. Roll damage.
All right, 10 damage. And then I want to use my action surge and keep firing at these zombies. So I'm going to fire again at zombie number 7
All right.
with a 12. Does
That
that hit?
definitely hits. Roll damage.
9 damage. And I'll use my fourth and final attack with an 11 that also hits.
Hits. Roll damage.
And that is 13 damage.
Striking that zombie, it obliterates into nothingness as they fade away.
We need to get them away from the caravan. Get these people out of here. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Up next of the zombies. First, the people hearing you call are now actually, since most of the zombies have been destroyed, they will start to run. Go with these people. They'll help. Run, and they all will jump out and use the little bit of movement they have to run towards. They're actually you all spread apart. So they're just running behind a tree. So they're all going to go ahead and run behind. 3 of them run behind the tree, and the other 2 remaining ones are going to all jump out of the cart, following Monaco's voice when she was calling out before and hiding within this tree. The zombies are not paying attention to them, are now looking at you. They're going to go ahead and make their attacks, and they're all looking pretty weak. Zombie number 1 is going to 10, 15, 20, walk towards Cal, but end his turn as he cannot move any further. Zombie number 11 is going to attack Duran, because he's inside the cart as well. Attacks with 13, which misses, slamming against you. You manage to jump out the way and hit crashing onto the caravan side. Zombie number 12 is inside, is also going to make attack against you, Duran. Does a 20 hit?
20 connects.
All right, doing 1 point of damage. 2 points of damage to you as it slams against your body. Zombie number 3 is going to walk up towards one of these people and try to take a swing. Let's see if it turns one of these. It does not. It misses as the person ducks behind the tree, having partial cover within the branches, and it misses. Zombie number 5 will walk up and end its turn right behind its brethren. So the one zombie rips apart, ripping its body, like its body into half as it falls down, and it stops moving. Let's see if it comes back to life. And it does not move. It stays there, dead. So zombie number 5 is gone. Ogre zombie number 1, will walk towards Cal. They are looking all really bad, but it will walk 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. That's all it really needs for its size, and will attack Cal. Doing 16 to attack. To hit.
That hits.
Okay, and it will do 10 points of damage, and your concentration fails and falters onto your aura.
Okay.
Zombie number 2 no longer blinded, and he only will run up towards Horatio. Yep, and it can reach. Will attack. Missing with a 13. Ogre zombie number 4 is blinded and is unable to see. Will just go around bashing against this tree, not moving at all, as it does not know where to go next.
Doesn't randomly attack one of his zombies next to him?
Let's see. Nope, it does not. Alright, so they all take in their turns. Start of the round, it looks like they all look pretty bad being your onslaught. The people are starting to run away. The zombies are thinning. What do you all do next? This will probably be the final round.
I'm going to hold my hand forth and say, shine bright, this is her land. And then the glowing weapon is going to grow even brighter. And eventually it's going to release all of its energy. And I will, as a bonus action, dismiss the holy weapon on Duran and all enemies within 30 feet of him. And then as that ends, I will land closer to the ground, and as I do, I'll hold my hands up into the air, and I'll start to cast a spiritual guardians. And as I get closer to the people, I'll say, "Always walk in the land of the unicorn." And as I do, spectral unicorns will start swirling in a 15-foot space around me, and I'll say, "Run south." If zombie ogre 4, 3, 12, and 11 are still alive, they'll get hit by the spiritual guardians. They have to make a wisdom saving throw or take 3d8 radiant damage.
Oh, okay. So with your releasing of the holy energy, the pain in your chest is now almost... Are you holding any concentrations? Don't believe you are, but...
The holy weapon was a concentration, but I let that go. And then the spiritual guardians that I'm now maintaining this space as I tell these people this is a safe space to be in. That's a new concentration that I'm picking up.
Okay. So as you go ahead and you feel the pain in you, it's almost too much for you to hold your concentration, but you strive through. The scar within your chest opening, you can feel it start to break even further into your body. the glow you can see almost shining throughout your chest, your tunic. But you blast forth and summoning the spiritual guardians as unicorns and other woodland creatures appear, damaging, destroying all the zombies within this vicinity as they all steam and turn to ash from the radiant energy, leaving only the banshees and ogre zombie number 2. Anything else you wish to do on your turn?
I flew down and cast that, so I have a little bit more movement. So I'll go like there, and then say like, "Follow me, people," and say like, "Come this way," like run south, and try and like get them to like run away from the action.
Okay. They all look at you and nod their head and begin to run off as well. Duran, you're up next.
Okay, and are those Zeds that I'm in the caravan with? Are they still up?
No,
12?
they all got obliterated from you from when you just saw your weapon glow and a giant come out. It blasts you back a little bit, but you're able to stay. But when you open your eyes, you see nothing but dust. So they're all dead.
Duran is going to look around kind of confusedly, and he's going to hop out of the cart. And is Ogre number 1 still alive, or is that one?
Ogre zombie number 4 is dead. Only one that's alive is Ogre zombie number 2. I believe Ogre zombie number 1 is also dead, yes. So only one next to Horatio is alive right now. I'm slowly deleting them. So what would you like to do? Oh, and the banshees, of course.
Duran is going to move over, and he's going to try to take care of the banshees.
Run over to the banshees.
Does a 13 hit?
13 does hit. Go ahead and roll that attack, that damage.
He deals 13 damage, and he's going to attack her again. I wager 26 connects. I'm going to do damage.
Do an additional 14 points of damage. This banshee is looking rough now.
And bonus damage, same thing. Bonus action. Does a 13 connect?
Yep, 13 is exactly what you need. Another 12 points of damage onto this banshee. It's looking pretty bad. It's kind of floating there, barely shimmering in and out of as you see it fading away.
Duran kind of holds his stance against them and pass turn.
All right. So banshee number 1 is going to look on over, and you see it. Both the banshees, you see them put their head up into the sky, looking back and forth, pointing towards what looks to be like the western section of where to the northwest. They look over there, and you hear them go, "Ha!" and start to go down to the ground, becoming incorporeal, fading into the ground itself. You try to make a slash onto them, it kind of just goes right through since they're able to pass through it at this moment before disappearing both of them disappearing into the ground below, and they are off the map. So Horatio, you're up next.
Seeing that the only one left is the one in front of him. Question: if I cast a bonus action spell, does it break my concentration?
No, as long as it's not another concentration spell.
Right. So he's going to, seeing himself in trouble with this zombie barreling down on top of him, he doesn't think he's going to be lucky enough for the zombie to miss again. He's going to Misty Step using a 2nd level spell slot, and he's going to move 30 feet behind him to an unoccupied space, which doesn't provoke an opportunity attack if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately I'm going to move my Sunbeam again, and he's gonna immediately just release a beam towards him. Let's release 60 feet or whatever. He's gonna immediately release another beam towards him. And let me target him. So he succeeded with a natural 20, and he takes 13 points of damage. And seeing that his eyes are kind of not glowing with this sunlight, Horatio is going to move 30 feet in this direction as he yells at Minako, "Get away from him, Minako!"
The zombie's looking really rough. It's on its last legs after being blasted by your sunbeam. Its skin peeling away, slowly start to fading. You see parts of its arms start to turn to dust and over as it limps towards you. Minako, you're up next.
Minako continues her dance, and in a grand flourish expends another soul burst, and in doing so, and conjures up a bonfire at the same time, creating this flaming spike that restrains it and burns it.
Okay. That's just normal fire damage, correct?
Yeah, it's just fire damage. Magical fire.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack. Well, actually, it's automatic going to, as you do your diamond's ballet, it crushes around and traps the ogre. Go ahead and roll your damage, as it cannot dodge out the way. Alright, so as it falls down into the ground, crumbling, we'll see if it's able to come back to life. And with a natural 1, it is not. And you see its body start to burn and fade away, falling onto the charred ground below. And the people run up towards you all. They've done it! You've done it! You saved us!
Sorry we couldn't save all of you.
They ate Mama! They ate Papa! And you see them crying and holding each other.
What were you doing so far alone without an escort from the Unity Knights?
We need to get the Thelos, one of them. And you notice that they're a family of gnomes. We need to get the Thelos. We have to. We have people there. I have my son there, the other one says. One of the male gnomes who step up, holding one of the other gnomes. We were separated. They made it to Thelos, thank goodness, but we were trapped on our way. We couldn't wait. They said 3 months before they could send aid. You don't know what's happening over in Rainbow Ridge. We had to get out of there as soon as we can.
We're aware. And over brain chat, he would say to everyone, we're headed to Thelos. Should we bring them along?
We cannot afford to dilly-dally on this. The sounds of our combat, surely it drew more to us. We have to move quickly. Let's take them with us and run.
Can we hook up their cart to Chastafol and pull them that way? Can it quickly be fixed? Cal,
There
you're
are
a
5
tinkerer.
of us each. Maybe one of us have one of them on top of our horses.
They are small enough. And then
I think we could even get 4 of these unicorns onto this cart. We might
I don't
be able
think
to
we
make
need
pretty
to-
good time.
we don't need to lug the cart unless they ask us to, but
Even if they ask, there's no time.
What's in your cart? Do you have any belongings? Can you carry your things?
It doesn't matter. We just please get us out of here. I can fear more coming.
As after they say just get us out of here, I'll hold Chastafol up and I'll throw it out and I'll say, Order of the Unicorn Horn! And it will break into pieces and form its steed mode.
And as you go ahead and release Chastafol, it breaks up into those pieces, making another, and doing the same fashion, creating the similar unicorns that appears in front of all of you once again, in a form taking shape. And you all each kind of go out and beckon for the people, and they all run to each one of you, as they're small, so you can easily.
Quickly! One of you on each of our each of our unicorns. Come on.
You'll be safe with us. It's okay.
They
I'll
look at each
cancel
other.
those spiritual guardians.
They look at each other back and forth. Just do what they say. They saved us. Oh, brave adventurers, thank you. And they all jump on. You all each grab one of the gnomes onto your. And there is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 for each of you. And you all grab your gnomes, hop onto Chastafol Unicorn, and drive off into the distance as you look back and see more ogre zombies are starting to make their way there after the flames and the noise that you created. And you go off into the distance, heading towards the east, towards Thelos. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Woo! Yeah!
Nice.
So much pressure.
So much.
Yeah.
Great job, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you all out there for listening. Special thanks to Jan Rosa and David Chappell and their teams for allowing us to use their soundtrack in our campaign. And of course, thank you to our fans. We love you from the first page to the last chapter. We're forever grateful to have you with us. Thank you.
have a good night.